Well, in a game or in a stretch of disappointing games, that one was disappointing. I feel bad for our players. I thought we got down 17-6, and then they might have played the best stretch of basketball that we've played the entire season for the rest of the first half, and obviously we went cold in the second half, and thought our zone was good to us. You know, it's hard to look down and see that you outshot them from the floor, you outshot them from three, and you still lose the game. But anyway, I thought our kids really battled and really played hard, and we just couldn't make a shot in the second half, and you know, we had one stretch where we got a little bit individual. I thought we took 2 or 3 bad shots, and 3 or 4 bad shots maybe, and they weren't necessary shots. I thought we made some good plays at the end. Shamil made a nice kick out to Marcus there when we were down 2. We ran a play to try to get the ball to Shamil on the block. We got it there. He kind of lost control of it. He made a terrific catch to even get a hold of the ball, because I didn't really think that the pass was open, and he made a terrific play to catch the ball. But by the time he kind of lost control and he gathered it, then their big kid was there and he kicked it out there, and we had that wide open shot from the top of the key and didn't make it. But so we had our chances, and I just feel horribly for our players, because they deserve to win. We need a win. They need a win, and we didn't get it.
Kevin, when you lose a game like this in the 8th game of the ACC, is it tougher to take than if it was the ACC openers? Because they keep pounding up.
No. Well, I mean, I think every loss makes the next loss feel worse. So they've been feeling badly, but my concern is the players, because we prepared hard, had good practices, and they played well. They played like we practiced. We just had that stretch there in the second half where we didn't play quite as well as we needed to, and then obviously, like I said, our shooting went cold in the second half, and that was a problem too. But I don't know that it's harder to take. It's just hard to take. It's a game that we had a chance to win and didn't win. So those are just hard.
With 2:15 left, Kevin, and you guys down 2, you took Jared out. What went into that decision?
I don't really recall. I don't recall. So I don't remember even taking him out then. I took him out earlier, but so I don't remember.
He said he had made some careless mistakes that caused him to get out.
He had a stretch. I don't know if that was when it was or not. He had a stretch where I felt like he lost his concentration a little bit, but we were looking for anybody to make a shot. Parker's been shooting it well for us, and I want to say I put Parker back in, but Parker wasn't making them tonight. But anyway, it's a little bit of a demonstration of our margin for error. Our margin for error is just pretty fine, and again, Parker's been fantastic the last few games, and he has a bad night, and on a night where Jared has a good night, and we need as many of our main cogs on top of their game as we can get, but again, our guys battled. We just didn't get it finished.
Yeah, was that maybe the most impressive thing, maybe outside of Jared's individual performance, is the way you guys played defense? That's tied for their lowest field goal percentage of the season, turned them over 12 times, had a bunch of blocks too.
At different times, the zone has been good to us. Again, like I said, we got down 17-6, and you know, it was beginning to feel eerily like the Georgia Tech game did, where we got so far behind. But like I said, from that point to the end of the first half, I felt we played about as well as we've played all season long. But yeah, our guys are getting better, and I keep reminding them of that they're getting better, and so you just hope that continues to be enough until we kind of kick the door down and get a victory, and because it's really tough on those guys. I mean, they're trying their butts off.
Coach, what factored into your decision to start Kene and bring Shamel in off the bench?
Well, Shamil hasn't been starting, so he hasn't started in 2 or 3 games. So Ken has been he probably has led our team in effort for several games in a row. He just plays so hard that that's why he gets rewarded. And I thought Shamil came in and gave us good minutes tonight. I was really happy with Shamil's play, and we need Shamil to play like that in order for our team to have a chance. And he was very good tonight.
Kevin, you talked about the effectiveness of the zone and how it looked tonight. But then they come down and, within 4 minutes, last 4 minutes of the game, and hit 3 crucial 3-pointers that really cemented this game. I mean, does that become difficult for you to, have to switch over to man-to-man look? Can this team be able to do that without Ryan?
You look and they shot 34% for the game, so you can't. If zone's working, you can't scare out of it, and I'm a scare out of it guy because I generally like to play man to man, but we stayed with it, and I don't regret staying with the zone. I don't think that was. We obviously were concerned about our ability late in the game to guard Yurtseven because he's so good inside, and he's bigger and more experienced and more physical than our guys, and so that was, he's been averaging about 20 the last few games, and the zone primarily neutralized him for the most part. I mean, he's 6 for 7, which is still a really good night, but we couldn't survive if he got 28 points against us like he got in the last game. Okay, we can't score enough points to probably absorb that. So the zone was effective, and again, they weren't shooting it well from 3, and so it was that's why it was working for us. They weren't making shots, and actually the problem that we had, when we made the bad plays offensively, they got transition baskets. One was a 3, and they got a layup, and so. That's again, but that's when I speak to the small margin of error. We can't have a 3-minute stretch to where and win generally. I mean, we've got to really be sound and consistent and stable and solid, and we were for the, a big part of the game, and that one little stretch there we let down a little bit, and it cost us the game.
Did you feel like in that stretch you guys just kind of got in a rush, and how much of that is the press that they were showing you, and how much of that is just young guys playing?
I didn't think it had anything to do with the press. I thought what it had to do with was they were making a run offensively, and our guys felt the pressure of their run, the gaps closing, and so now we jump up and take a couple bad shots because we're going to try to fix this instead of grinding it out and letting it happen and letting it play out the way our good plays have been playing out, and again that's I hate to say it's what young teams do. An experienced team, they grind and they get the ball right where it needs to be. The shot might not go in, but they might get fouled or whatever, and I thought we stopped attacking the basket a little bit there late in the game, and and lost some of our aggressiveness, and then we were settling for jump shots, and obviously they weren't going in. So anyway.
Last question.
Given the fact that your team led for so much of tonight, Kevin, did it seem like post-game they were maybe taking this loss a little bit harder than previous ones?
One thing that we've talked about, and not just one thing, but one thing we have talked about is losing should never feel okay. Okay, it should never feel okay. It should never be okay. It doesn't matter if it's a close loss or a big loss, and I think that there was, particularly with a certain guy or two or three, I think there was more dejection with this one, again, a loss is a loss, but they'll keep battling, and we'll keep battling, and I admire this group. I do. They're a great group, and we came up a little bit short tonight, but we'll keep working and getting it to where we get it right.
You guys had 3 11-point leads. Did you feel you had something going good and you might be able to maintain it throughout the whole game?
Yeah, having those leads, we definitely saw, what we're capable of doing. We believed in ourselves that we could do this the whole time, and it's just something we got to maintain. Something we got to get back in the gym, focus on, maintaining that type of lead. So when we do get up, we don't let teams come back, get back in the game, or get confidence. It was definitely good for us to see, that we can do that, which we've been telling ourselves every day in practice. Every single game, we remind ourselves that we can play that way. So it was good to actually do, put those words into action. So.
Jared, you guys, for how well you played all game, they end on a 15-2 run. What caused the breakdown, do you feel?
I think just being a little careless with the ball. I put that on my shoulders a lot. Just not, focusing on maintaining the lead and just taking your time with the ball. I kind of rushed a couple shots. I think we just got to be better at focusing on maintaining the lead and taking care of the ball.
Given how much you guys and for how long you guys led tonight, how much, even though a game like this ended up being closer than some of your other ACC games, how much more deflating is a loss like this?
I wouldn't say deflating. We focus on grinding every day, trying to get better every day, trying to get a win. A loss is a loss. After the game, if they have more points than us, it's the same as any other game, no matter what the score is. We just focusing on getting back in the gym and grinding and focusing on, our next opportunity to go out there and try to win a game.
Jared, you guys were so successful in the first half driving, getting to the free throw line. You got both of their bigs in some foul trouble. Do you feel like you weren't able to do that as effectively in the second half?
I think I just stopped focusing on that. I think that was something I was telling myself to do a lot early in the game, especially after I saw the big guys getting in foul trouble. I think it's something I shied away from, and as a result, some of the other guys kind of played into that because they saw me doing it. So I think I got to be better at just focusing on, if something's working, keep at it. When it's not, we have other things that can work too, but just trying to focus on the task at hand, not really getting caught up in anything else.
You guys seem to really keep a positive attitude no matter what. How tough is that to do under these circumstances?
Honestly, it's not really tough. We believe in our ability. We're a very close team on and off the court, so staying together is kind of natural. No matter what we know. If we're not together, then that's when things start to fall apart. So we're gonna be together no matter what. So.
When you guys moved into the zone defense, things about 14-minute mark, went on a 35-16 run, held them to 6 for 34. Is this something you're comfortable in? Or something you guys would be?
In the last couple of weeks, it's been something we've been practicing a lot of, trying to get better at. We actually kind of learned it on the fly. Learned it quickly, though, especially for a young and new team. And just something, that we see that can work for us. It did in spots, and for a good period of time it worked. So You know, it's something we just been working on, but we do multiple defense in practice, work on multiple things.
Jared, I think you were out from like the 2:15 mark until about 8 seconds left. Did you get a reason why, or do you have a feel for why that was?
I alluded to earlier, I was kind of being careless with the ball, and there were certain shots that I probably could have made a different play, a better play, and I think that definitely contributed to it. I'm looked to be a leader and be able to have the trust of those guys, and when I make plays that seem careless, that kind of looks that's bad on my behalf. That's something I can't do for my team. That's something I have to uphold, is make sure and I'm solid at all times. So when I get away from that, that's what I should come out the game. So I had no problem with that at all. I was really just trying to focus on encouraging my guys so that we could get the win.
What do you guys feel like after a game like this, where where your opponent shoots a poor percentage, where you play well defensively, where you're leading for most of the game and lose? What do you feel like it's going to take? What series of factors for you guys to get a win in this conference?
Honestly, just a couple less turnovers. I think sometimes we took bad shots. We could have got better shots. Just little things like that. We're right there. So we're getting better every day, and we know it's coming. So I think it's just a couple little things that we got to just clean up.
Last question, Jeff, from the back here.
Shamil, what led to your better game? Do you think this is something that you can build on?
Me, I was just being aggressive, seeing openings, and I was just taking advantage. I do think I can build on this, especially the way our team's just flowing right now with a couple things we put in on offense and the zone we put in. So yeah, I do think I can build on this, but yeah, I was just being aggressive.
Well, guys, I thought it was a hard-fought road game in the ACC. Give Pitt a lot of credit. Obviously, they took us down to the wire. I thought they all played us in the first half. Certainly, we didn't make shots. And one thing I told our guys, if you stay the course and you continue to take the good shots and obviously start defending in the second half and not putting them on the free throw line, I felt like we could win the game. I thought our conditioning kicked in late in the game. When you look at it, the roles kind of flipped. I think Pitt finished the game missing the last 13, 14 threes, and then we made some shots at the end. And I thought Al Freeman did a good job of sealing the game. So proud of these guys. Great road win. Obviously, this is a tough conference, and anytime you can get a road win, it's a goal.
Pitt's a team, Kevin, with the 9 first-time D1 players. They haven't won a game in almost a month. Was there a feeling among you and among your guys that if you could close that gap and be within a few points and be leading in the final few minutes, that you could get them into an unfamiliar spot where they maybe wouldn't be as effective?
Well, I think where people make a mistake in college basketball, if you look at the team you're playing, if you look at their record. Obviously coming in, and Pitt hasn't won a conference game yet, but I watched a lot of tape, and those guys, they're continuing to play hard. The example game that I thought I look back at is they gave Virginia Tech everything they wanted on the road, but we did know that they had some young players, and if we could stay close and inch away at it, I feel like that they may get tight at the end. And I don't know if that happened. I just thought we made plays.
Do you think that was why the press was effective? It seemed like they got sped up. Even if they weren't turning the ball over, they were taking quick shots when they got it down the court.
Yeah, it's weird. It's a weird deal because I thought the tempo of the game was in our favor the whole game. When you look at the first half, it's the weirdest stat I've ever seen. We were down 10, but we had taken 43 shots, and they only had taken 26. And I think the difference was obviously the free throw line because they made shots at the free throw line.
They switched over to a zone about 14 minutes left, and even with that, you guys struggled from beyond the arc. Yet it was 3 3-pointers that kind of sealed the deal with this game under 4 minutes. Was that the idea on staying the course, just taking those wide open shots on the perimeter?
Yeah, absolutely. I had a group in there that that could make shots, and as I said before, ideally I don't come to any game hoping we take 35 shots. When you look at it, I thought a good portion of those shots were really good rhythm shots. They just didn't go in. But, with me, I try to give my guys offensive confidence. If you miss shots, that's okay, as long as you play on the defensive end. Perfect example, I think Al Freeman in the first half was 1 of 4-11. And then he came out in the second half, he hit a big three, and then he made 4 free throws to seal the game. I mean, 2 free throws.
Well, what did you see, Kevin, from your team and from the game, even when you guys were down 10, 15, that kind of made you think to yourself, okay, I feel like we have a chance. I feel like we can.
We didn't panic. It's easy for this team. Obviously in year one, I'm trying to develop culture. And I've got a lot of guys on my team that, they lost the last 10 or 11 games last year in the ACC. And majority of those were road games. But what I saw was some guys that believed that they could win the game. And I just told them to stay the course. If we can defend, we'll win. And I thought we did a good job late doing that.
How were you able to defend without taking more fouls in the second half?
Well, we changed their ball screen coverage. They were doing a good job, and we started downing on the side, kind of keeping them on the sideline more than we did in the first half. And I think they struggled with that a little bit.
Beverly is 1 for 10, 1 for 11, and then hits the go-ahead. I mean, talk about giving your guys confidence. Is that a confidence shot for him? Do you really think that's going in when he shoots the step back to put you up?
Yeah, I was disappointed because that last shot he took, that he shot an air ball, I thought it was going to go in. Our guys understand that they have tremendous offensive freedom. He's going to be a fun player for me to coach for the next 3 years also. But he's a guy that can make shots, and we were going to live with whatever he did, and he stepped up and made big shots. And, I was happy with that. I had no problem with him taking those shots.
Is this a team that has seen a lot of zone looks, considering the struggles you guys had from 3 this year?
Well, stop telling everybody we're struggling for 3.
Just looking at the numbers.
Yeah, no, we've seen everything. Obviously when you played, I don't know, how many games is this for us? 21 games. We've seen zone, we've seen a little bit of everything. So, we anticipated that we were going to see a lot of zone today, and we did. We just didn't make them. At one point I had my best 3-point shooting team in there, Amir included, and Sam Hunt, and we still didn't make shots.
Kevin, did you guys know that Wilson Frame sort of had the ability to get as many points in a bunch like that as he did, or did that kind of surprise you at all?
No, listen, when you're a ACC player, you're capable of anything. We don't, every guy we come in, we take him serious, and obviously he had an unbelievable night, especially the first half. But, not surprised. They're a good basketball team. They're young. They'll get better, but, everybody's capable of scoring.
You guys thought that shooting was relentless within the last 5 minutes. Did you think you had a chance, although Pitt was down, knowing that they're a young and inexperienced team?
Yeah, that factored in, and I told them, I didn't know if this would happen. I said if we get the game close, because they got some young guys, they may make some mistakes. And I felt like they made a few turnovers at the end. I thought they rushed some shots. When you got a young team and we were down 10 and 11, I thought some of those guys took knockout shots instead of just staying the course, and obviously they let us back in the game.
Coach, how did Omer keep himself involved in the game despite the foul troubles early in the first half?
He didn't play the defense in the second half, that's how. And I was yelling at him, saying, will you defend, please? I said, with about 5 minutes to go in the game, I told him, I said, you only got 3 fouls. You're not going to foul out now. And so I think he realized at that point. I thought he should have blocked his shot when the kid, made a layup. But, at times you're going to have to put your best players on the floor with 2 and 3 fouls and trust that they not foul out of the game.